Hey everyone, BlackCross here, and welcome to a Christmas vlog video. Happy Christmas to you everyone, or if you're watching this sometime after December 25th, chances are it's probably getting close to New Year's, so Happy New Year's to you! And if for some reason you're watching this after January 2nd, then okay, whatever. It's kind of hard for me to talk about something like this because of it being Christmas and all that stuff, because at first I was thinking about, doing like a quick little say, hey, Merry Christmas to everyone, how are you doing? Let's look forward to the future and stuff. And yet there's just as much complications with the future as there is excitement for the future. So I guess we'll first talk about Christmas in genuine, and then we'll talk about the updates themselves. So in terms of Christmas, I think this year has been better in terms of work situation. If you know, in the past, work has been very frustrating, and Christmas is no exaggeration. Christmas usually adds on to the frustration and stuff. But I think this year it's less stressful in terms of mentality and stuff. So I think that's a good thing. But in terms of physical work, it's no different. If nothing else, you're still just as wore out as I believe you would be if you were just doing a normal Black Friday. Instead, it's almost every day. With this one, however, though, mentality-wise, you can actually get through work not so bad. Everyone seems to be in good cheer, which is actually a plus when it comes to working where I'm working at. And everyone's been alright for the most part, No one's, well, with the exception of maybe one or two people. But after those one or two people, everyone else is relatively in good cheer. Which is really good, because normally people get so aggravated during the holidays. And it gets aggravating towards me as well, because of how many people just egg on about how much they absolutely hate their job, or they absolutely hate working during the holidays, or why are people going out so much buying stuff and everything like that. But instead, people are just relatively cheery. So yeah, it's good to know that everyone's doing good. And in terms of Christmas tradition wise that I've been doing so far, we recently had our third annual Christmas party me and Delmar have, and it was really good. Again, we had a Christmas party, and I stated this in the toast and everything like that. Me and Delmar usually have a toast to all of our friends and stuff, and I mentioned this before. The fact that so many people showed up during the Christmas party, we know that technically speaking, not everyone can show up at the same time, which is why we normally have it as a full day type thing. It's hey, after 5 o'clock, if people still want to show up to grab something to eat real quickly, they can. Or they just want to hang out for a little bit, that's alright as well. But people still do, they still show up, And even though some people got sick this time around, some still wanted to show up anyway, even if it was just for a quick moment or two. And those quick few moments really do mean a lot, They could have easily just said, no, we can't really show up, or no, we're too busy and stuff like that, or no, I've got to work later on, I can just show up another time or whatever. But no, they still show up regardless, and they stay for a couple of hours. So that really means a lot to me and Delmar. It truly does. So to those who showed up at the party and they watched this video, thank you so much for your participation. This just tells me and Delmar we need to do more and more Christmas parties. If not, at least more parties in the future, Maybe we might do a small little party in the middle of summer or something like that. I don't know. We'll do something that will encourage more parties in the future, probably. And then in terms of Christmas specials, me and Delmar are right now catching up with Christmas specials. We are watching some of our favorites, and so far we're finally dwindling down the list of things that we've been meaning to watch for a while, and we're getting caught up and stuff. So unlike last year where we've been kind of behind, this year we're actually doing really good. So really, holiday season wise, this has been probably one of the better holidays that we've had thus far. And it probably helps because I've actually cut back on streaming or editing video wise. Even though on the surface it looks like I've been uploading a lot more videos, it just, compared to what I had been before, where I've been streaming almost every day, now that's changed, and I've been actually able to enjoy myself a little bit better. So that's probably what's helped out the most too. And then, of course, later on December 24th and 25th, we'll be hanging out with our folks during Christmas, which is really good. My mother is really looking forward to that. I'm just wondering how the boys are going to handle it. And whenever I say the boys, I mean the dogs, because Mom and Wes have 2 Yorkies, and we have our own Yorkie. And while they don't mind, Grover gets so hyperactive, he just goes in circles around the 2, and both of them don't like that. I mean, they like playing, but they don't like over amounts of playtime, you know? It's like, yeah, they can chase around each other for like the first 3 minutes, but then after that first 3 minutes, they're like, okay, stop, and they try to bite him. So it's kind of scary, so we have to cage them up, unfortunately, so that way they don't overpower each other. That, and technically Grover and Bear have not been fixed, so that dominant field can kind of kick in, whereas Moki, he's been fixed, so he's okay with everybody. But Bear and Grover, because they haven't been fixed yet, that field of dominance kind of takes over on both of them. And it's not their fault. They do get friendly. It's just their instincts of dominance kind of kicks in and stuff. You know what I mean? If you own a dog, or I believe even a cat would be the same way, you kind of know the difference. You kind of know, yeah, if they're not fixed, they are very dominant and protective about their territory. Whereas if they're not fixed, they don't care. So you kind of get the idea. So it's going to be interesting how this Christmas Day and Christmas Eve is going to turn out whenever we do have that. That's just the Christmas side of things. Let's go ahead and talk about the channel itself, the updates that comes out, and what my plans are for 2020. But before we get to all that, we still need to talk about the elephant in the room. Or should I say the elephant surveying the room? Or elephant surveying the channel. Actually, multiple channels. Every channel. All of YouTube, practically. And that is COPPA. If you don't know what COPPA is basically, in abbreviation, Children Online Protection Privacy Act. Basically what that means is that children cannot hand out their private information online. And you know what? Everyone is basically on the same page whenever people talk about this. They're on the same page, is that we understand wanting to protect children. That is okay, we're not against that. But children tend to do things their own way without realizing the harm that they could potentially unleash. And what I mean is that they create their own account so that way they can have the freedom of watch whatever they want without being restricted of what they can and can't watch. And children do this all the time, you know. I know whenever I was younger, I lied about my age all the time up until I got to be 18. And so that way I could actually watch whatever trailer I wanted to watch, so on and so forth. And children will do this all the time. So I think that's probably what separates the ideal concept of protecting children versus creating whatever you feel like you want to create. Because a lot of people talked about this in the past, where parents just need to try to monetize children better. And unfortunately, some parents, not all parents, there are some parents actually that do a tremendous job of actually taking care of their children. And some parents don't mind letting their children be exposed at an early age. But then you have some parents that just generally do not care. And you know those parents that just generally do not care. They hand their children the gamepad or whatever in order to watch YouTube, so that way they can get a free moment of time without being strict to their child and stuff like that. And that is a terrible excuse of a parent, in my personal opinion. The FTC, or COPPA in this case, is trying to monetize YouTube in the way that they feel like will be the best one. And if you want a full description of like what's going on with the FTC or what's going on with COPPA, I highly recommend watching one of 3 YouTubers who have actually talked about this in a professional manner. And that is Chatronic, Arlo, and Cat Icarus. Chatronic and Arlo are probably one of the more influential when it comes to this subject, because their material in terms of YouTube videos more or less reflect who they are. And it reflects more so on COPPA side of things, you know. They're bright and colorful, and some of the stuff they actually do does reflect towards children to some degree. And it can affect them. If nothing else, I expect it to affect them full force, unfortunately. Cat Icarus actually mentions this in his video. It's going to take one time before all of this gets resolved, technically. Because someone will be wrongfully fined it, and then this will be taken up to court. And that one time is where the rules is going to change and is going to affect things indefinitely. So technically speaking, even though this law has been out since 1998, it is actually relatively nuanced. And by nuance, I mean like it is so old and outdated that it doesn't reflect how today's society works. And so when something like this is going to happen, it will be looked at, it will be redefined over and over again until it becomes redefined into the current standards. So the way I see it, it doesn't affect anyone at this current moment in time because it is still a nuanced law that doesn't reflect how YouTube community works. Not YouTube in genuine, but YouTube community works. And it's like, yeah, we understand wanting to protect children, protection and everything like that, but the way the law dictates whether or not if it's child targeted audience or not is completely obsolete technically, because really a child can be attracted to anything. Truly, it can. If you were a child, you were interested in anything that a parent wanted to watch. You know, if a parent was interested in cars, you yourself was interested in cars. If a parent was interested in fishing, you yourself was interested in fishing. You know, it's that same concept. So, no offense, when someone says when it's child appealing, that can mean anything, you know, and even what they define is pretty elongated anyway. But it missed a whole bunch of other stuff that includes appealing. And by appealing, it could be anything between the age of young to 13. And let's put it this way, if you're 11 to 13, chances are you were more appealed to other stuff. If you get what I'm saying. So, ultimately, the question is this. What am I going to do about COPPA? The answer is simple. Nothing. I'm not going to do a single thing about COPPA because, really, in all honesty, I don't see it affecting me any at all. So, why should I be worried about something that may not even remotely reflect me, period? You know, it's like I don't make a dime on YouTube, so therefore, technically speaking, my channel is not gathering data on children and stuff because I wasn't being paid for advertisements. So, technically speaking, I shouldn't have ads on my video. That's a different subject entirely. Like I said, if you want to know more details, check out those three. I highly recommend them. They are very informative when it comes to COPPA if you're wanting to know more about them. But with that being said, let's talk about the actual updates and goals for my channel. So one of the goals that I actually do have for 2020, aside from losing weight, thankfully I have maintained it even though it's during the holidays. Usually during the holidays you gain weight. But this year I'm wanting to actually cut back entirely. Like, I'm wanting to do something drastic in order to cut back as much weight as I possibly can. It's not going to be easy. In fact, thankfully, I haven't really gone over-exaggerated, but I can tell that if I go any further in terms of over-exaggerants, it does affect, and it is obvious. I also want to try to maintain my physical health-wise. I want to be able to still do the things that I want to do, and I want to be able to do them without being worn out or tired and stuff like that. I mean, I'm 30. So, you would think I would still have enough, I suppose you could say, kick to where I can still do the stuff that I want to do. But instead, I'm all drugged out and tired and so on and so forth. So that just means that I'm going to have to try to work out better, try to lose weight better, try to eat better for that matter. It's not going to be easy, but for the most part, I am doing a good enough change at this current moment in time. Aside from losing weight and doing better in terms of health-wise, I want my channel to, and this is going to be a push, this is going to be a hell of a push, but I would like for my YouTube channel to reach 1,000 subscribers this year. If possible. I sincerely doubt that 2020 would be the year that I would break over the 4-digit mark, but if I could even remotely get close to 1,000, that would make me happy. But I sincerely doubt that I would get over 1,000 subscribers in 1 year. I mean, think about it. I've been doing this for almost 5 years now, and I'm just now breaking over 100. But after this reboot and looking over the videos and stuff like that, I can actually definitely say that the reboot is actually a success, which is really good because that means that the ideal agenda that I have for my channel is going in the right direction. So, in terms of like, you know, the video progression that I've done, like doing my PlayStation 2 Legacy series, the reviews that I do, some random videos that I might come up here and there, that is actually getting a lot more views, actually, I've noticed, which is really good because originally I thought that, you know, I needed to try to make more and more videos, but in reality I need to make better quality videos, you know, and I think a lot of YouTubers started to realize that, is that originally the rule was make as many videos as you could possibly can so that people can recognize your channel. Well, now that has been changed, and instead of being that of just videos every day, make more quality videos, you know, videos that makes people want to go and watch the video instead of it being just a random video here and there and stuff like that. Because when I was doing my Let's Play series and stuff like that of whatever game I was playing and stuff, I would get maybe like 1 view or one video 5 views, but then it's like on average a view per video and stuff like that. Now I've noticed with this reboot, I've been seeing more of a, hey, the average video, actual average video, is 5 views per video. Now that may not be much, but to me, where I've been seeing like zeros and ones, this is a big change. Seeing like 5, 7, 3, 10, 28, you know, something like that. Seeing those numbers actually affect me in a positive way. It makes me encouraged to keep doing it the way I've been wanting to do it. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with playing video games. It's just, I don't think every video game should be a Let's Play, you know? As much as I love streaming and as much as I love doing stuff, I don't think I need to restrict myself into one category. I should only do it at like a certain event or something like that, you know? Maybe if I'm doing like a challenge video or something of that nature. That's just how I feel like it needs to be. And so, with that reboot and everything like that, allowing me to play more video games, that is a good thing. I can still play more video games, but I want to have it to where I can play video games, but actually make better content in the process of it all. So like, say for example, the video games that I've been currently playing, I actually do a review. You know, talking about the video game in genuine, giving my personal thoughts and stuff of that nature. All that detail and stuff. And so, with that being the case, that means that chances are, people who are looking at those reviews are more or less interested about not only my thoughts towards the game, but also are wanting a genuine review of, like, the product itself, and deciding if they want to get that product or not, you know. And especially with 2020 coming out and stuff like that, that gives it all the more reason why I should do reviews more often, you know. Doing this direction in terms of the reboot is looking more of the positive side of things, and so that kind of tells me that I can actually see it being a realization. Whether or not that's going to happen, I sincerely doubt it, but we'll see what happens at the end of the day. There is still other stuff that I'm wanting to do, like for example, the first official YouTube live stream Let's Play that I'll do is that of Kingdom Hearts 3 with the Remind DLC. You know, I've been talking about it for a while, where I've been wanting to do a 100% playthrough for Kingdom Hearts 3 on YouTube. And I actually did test a YouTube stream. My only complaint, and I say this because this is me with experience, my only complaint whenever I was testing the stream was that YouTube has a 30-second delay from the live visual. 30-second delay. Holy crap. That is nuts. You know, Twitch itself is somewhat immediate by maybe like a couple of seconds of a delay, but it's not much of a delay. YouTube is straight up 30 seconds. that is like ungodfully terrible delay right there. I mean, I've heard people talk about YouTube not being really good for streaming, but a 30-second delay, holy crap, that is bad. But I will stick with it, and we'll try doing the Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts 3 100% playthrough on YouTube, and we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully that will turn out really good, but we'll just have to wait and see how that turns out, you know. We don't really know. We just know that, hey, this is an idea that I want to do. So we'll see how that turns out, and we'll see what goes on from there. Look forward to that whenever that finally does come out and whenever I finally do it. But I do want to go ahead and kind of give a small temporarily update in regards to the PlayStation 2 Legacy. And that is, for the month of January, I'm going to be on a hiatus for the PlayStation 2 Legacy. There's a couple of reasons why. One of them is that I'm wanting to, like, look through my games and see which games I'm wanting to play for the PlayStation 2 Legacy. And then, secondly of all, I want to kind of, like, redo the opening theme. Like, obviously, the opening theme itself is alright, but I want to give it more of a retrospect look at the games and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a few little different editings and stuff like that. And so the hiatus for January for PlayStation 2 Legacy is going to give me a little bit of a break to where I can kind of look at the games and see which ones I want to play for the rest of the year. And then from then on out, whenever the first week of February comes up, that's whenever it will resume, obviously. But January, it's just going to be a little bit of a break from the PlayStation 2 Legacy. Obviously, I will still be releasing a few videos here and there, but for the time being right now, PlayStation 2 Legacy is just going to be temporarily on break for the time being. Anyway though guys, thank you so much for watching this Christmas vlog video. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas right now, and if nothing else, hopefully it'll be a wonderful New Year's, and I hope to see you in 2020. Until then, this is BlackCross signing off, and happy holidays to everyone. Catch you guys later.